What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Dodzy, and this is your sports show for Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. This is all brought to you by Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto. If you got anything wrong with your car, go see JB and the boys. East end of Adams, on the right-hand side, you can't miss it. It's the old Wendell's Corner. I mean, they've been there forever, and it's just such a comfortable environment, and they do a great job. Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto right here in LeGrand. First up, high school football. There's a game. I don't know any details on any of the volleyball stuff. I haven't heard anything. And so there's not a great communication. And part of that's my fault. And I apologize. I've been super busy. Moving forward, I'm going to really try to focus more on the high schools around here. As for high school football, we are streaming that game on Friday. So, I mean, it's a big game. They're going to let some students in. I'm pumped. Let's go. It's a great day to be a fighting tiger. At EOU, let's see, this weekend, men's basketball is at home. Women's basketball is at home. We got the CCC volleyball tournament. Track and Field's on the road in Spokane. Go to EOUsports.com for more information. You can go right there. The schedule runs right across the top. You can go to the specific team and find out where they're playing, what their record is, who's on the roster, EOUsports.com. As for my guests today, my first guest is the CCC Female Track Athlete of the Week. She does the multi-event, which I believe is the pentathlon for women in the spring, so in the outdoor season. She's none other than Olivia Lane. Here it is. Olivia, how's it going?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Good. So let's break the ice with just about how I break the ice with everybody. How'd you end up at EOU?
I transferred here from Lane Community College. I was just trying to find a new place to go to school. It's pretty close to home. It's affordable, and they have a really good track program here, so that's why I chose here.
Yeah. So, Ben's been coaching at EOU for 30 years or something like that?
Yeah, something crazy. I think he might have started when I was born. So
yeah, he's definitely been coaching at EOU for a long time. What do you do in track and field? Like what events do you do?
So I do the heptathlon, which is 7 events over 2 days. We have high jump in there, long jump, 200, 100 hurdles, shot put, javelin, and 800.
Wow, that's a lot of different stuff. So let's talk about your favorite, and then let's talk about the one that you're best at.
All right. So I don't know, picking a favorite is kind of hard. I would say probably right now long jump, because I just had a huge PR this last weekend, so that was pretty fun. And then I always love hurdles too. They're just fun to do because they're so technical and there's a lot that goes into it. And then for the hardest and the one I'm best at is definitely the 800. That's where I get most of my points, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, that's that weird distance. It's what?
Mm-hmm.
So the 800 is half a mile essentially, right around there, which is a really weird distance. I mean, it's hard to train for that distance too, because it's a combination of that fast twitch, bam, and endurance. It's one of the toughest events in track and field, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say it's probably the hardest. That, or for me personally at least, that or the 400 hurdles, but I think the 8 beats it out.
Nice. So where'd you go to high school at?
Clarkston, Washington. Lewiston, Idaho area. Right. Yeah.
Did you do any other sports in high school?
Yeah, I did cross country, and then I also did basketball for 3 years, and then track. And I did softball 1 year, my freshman year, but actually only did track my last 2 years of high school.
Are you fairly tall? Because you look fairly tall in the pictures.
No. You're not? I'm really short, yeah.
It's weird because usually like high jumpers, long jumpers are like taller.
Yeah, I'm 5'4". I'm normally one of the shortest ones out there, actually.
Hey, so you got to understand, most of these people that I interview on here, I've never met in real life. You know what I mean? Like there's probably 100 people that I've interviewed on my show that live right here in LeGrand that I've never even met face to face because of COVID.
Yeah.
So let's kind of change gears a little bit, and I'm going to ask you a quick question. Give me your best answer. Would you rather spend the rest of your life with a sailboat as your house or an RV?
Ooh, I would say sailboat if I knew how to work it.
Absolutely, huh?
Yeah, my dad, he actually works on boats, so know a little bit about it, I guess.
That would be, man, a sailboat. Could you imagine just living on a sailboat? How cool would that be?
Yeah, you could go anywhere too.
Absolutely anywhere. Let's talk a little bit about your personal goals for this year. Like what does Olivia Lane want to accomplish this year in the outdoor season?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my cat. I really want to win conference. I would say that's one of the big ones up there. Conference is the 22nd, I think. And I have a really good shot for doing that. And then I want to go top 3 at outdoor nationals as well. That's one of my big goals. And then be the high point scorer in conference. So score the most points for my team for the women's side.
Yeah, those are pretty good goals if you ask me.
Yeah.
So do you have your phone right there with you, or are you on your phone?
No, I have my phone.
What? Open it up real fast.
Okay.
What's the last song that you listened to on your playlist?
Oh no. It's called Lush Life.
Lush Life?
Yeah, Lush Life.
By who?
By Zara Larson.
What kind of music is it?
I think it's kind of like, it's like a summertime song, like pop music.
Feel good, like
yeah.
just get you in the mood on a nice sunny day, get the windows down.
Yeah. Roommate,
nice.
I just went and got some lemonade and we're listening to music.
Nice. So we'll move from like your personal goals to like team goals. Like what do you guys want to accomplish as a team?
I mean, it's always to win conference, and this year it's going to be weird because we don't know what we're up against. It's been a tough year for every team. And I think that's always coach's goal. And that's always kind of been my goal too, because the women have never won conference here at Eastern, and being a senior, that's something I really want to do. Also, I think how I'm going to help that is try to get as many points as I can. Being a multi, you can really spread yourself pretty thin, and it's tough, but I think it's important for everyone to try to just do the best they can in all the events they can to do that.
Right. COVID has really put a weird twist on life, sports, school, everything you can imagine. I try to think about like what we would have done when I was in college, when we didn't have these. We didn't have the internet at the tip of our fingers. We didn't have these, smartphones. I mean, cell phones had just come out.
Yeah.
I'm not old. So I often see myself like sitting there, thinking about like, dude, what would we have done when we were in college if COVID would have hit then? And I can't fathom it. It's crazy. I mean, there's people on your team that you don't even know.
Well, I think I know most of my teammates.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, so Bennett's my editor. Bennett's the editor here. Bennett Welch. And there's lots of people on the team that he don't know.
Really, yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty hard too, because we are all pretty separated. I mean, we have to practice in smaller groups as well and stuff like that. And a lot of the cross kids, I hardly ever see them except for at meets when we do outdoors. So I'm getting to know them as well.
Yeah.
It is hard seeing everybody.
Yeah, that's across the board at EOU. Even like the volleyball players, the basketball players, that it's the same thing. It's like we don't get enough time with our teammates. And has that affected like camaraderie at all? I mean, is it just there?
I think so a little bit. It's kind of like we go to practice and we go home. A lot of times in the past, we would go to Ben and Rebecca's office and we'd hang out and, sit there and talk and have lunch there or whatever. And we kind of miss out on that quite a bit. That's something I've noticed. I was just talking to Ben about it the other day.
Yeah. Every time I've ever been at EOU and stopped by Ben's office, there's always been athletes in there.
Yeah.
But I haven't been up there this year because of COVID, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, that has to have some sort of effect on just the camaraderie end of it. What are you going to school for?
I'm doing communications right now.
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
Right now I'm looking around the country for a graduate assistant position, to coach track and field somewhere or volunteer. I'm just trying to coach. Honestly, that's what I really want to do. I think that's where I can make the biggest impact in this world. I was doing pre-medicine before I switched over last year, I think it was, from pre-med to communications. So I could really just become a coach.
Won't you get this year back eligibility wise?
Technically I have one more year of indoor track left because this is my 4th year competing outdoors.
Okay.
So I've burned all those. But being at Lane, we didn't have any indoors, so I have one more year of indoors left.
So will you do one more year indoor at EOU, or are you just gonna move on?
I think I'm gonna move on,
It's time. Hey, like I talked to a lot of people, and it there comes a point in life where, like you have to make that decision whether, advancing as an athlete or advancing as a person, in like real life, because real life hits us quick.
Yeah, it does. And I've been doing track for 5 years at the collegiate level, and 6 years just seems like dragging that out a little bit.
Yeah. Do you like?
It is always an option if I can't find anything else to do. With
a fallback.
It's hard.
Nice. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I just saw a meme about that earlier today.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're one of the weird ones.
Yeah, I guess so.
What about pineapple in Asian food, like the big chunks, like in like stir fry, or no?
As much.
I don't like pineapple hot.
You don't like hot pineapple?
No, I like it cold.
Oh.
Yeah,
I had some Hawaiian rice the other day, and that was good. That was pineapple and coconut in it.
I like the mango sticky rice from right here across the street.
Yeah, that's good.
That's dessert, though. I'm on a diet right now with MetTrim, and I haven't had real food in 7 days.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I think I like just about anything right now.
Yeah.
So for EOU track and field, like who's your position coach? You know how they have who coaches you?
Rebecca, definitely.
Rebecca is multis.
Yep, she does pretty much everything, honestly.
Yeah.
She does sprints, hurdles, and jumps as well.
So, tell me a little bit about your relationship with her.
What do you mean about that?
Well, like, do you have a good relationship with her? I mean, like,
yeah, I really like the coaching here. Like I said, that was one of the reasons I came on my visit. We had a really good experience with the team, and then also Rebecca she's a really good coach, and she knows what she's doing, and she really has helped me get a lot better. I mean, my hurdles have gone down 1.5 seconds in 1 year. In 2019 season, the last outdoor season that I had. So something's working, and I've PR'd in long jump by, I don't know, like 30 centimeters or something like that. So that's
awesome. Yeah. Who's your idol? Like who do you look up to in the sports world?
I would say Brianne and Ashton Eaton, honestly. They're both multis. Ashton's won a couple gold medals, and Brianne got third in the 2016 Olympics down in Rio. And they're from Oregon. Well, Ashton's from Oregon. Went to University of Oregon too. And his coach actually came down last year, I think it was, before all the COVID stuff, and he kind of like hung around our team for a while, and he was a really good guy.
Cool.
It's just really neat getting to see all the aspects of them and their training and what they've accomplished, and it's just really cool.
When I was young, there was these two guys named Dan O'Brien and Dave Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't even born yet, but I'm sure you've heard of them.
I've heard of them. I don't know much.
Dude, they basically put the multi on the table in the United States. I mean, nobody knew anything about the multis until Dan and Dave. I mean, honestly, like I couldn't even have told you how many events were in, the Olympics, let alone what they were until Dan and Dave came along. So if they were to write, so if somebody was to write a song about your life, who is singing it, and what's the title of the song?
Oh, I don't. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Probably Adele, because she's my favorite artist and she can do just about anything.
She rocks.
Yeah. I don't know what the name would be. That's a tough one.
Well, yeah, you got to come with something.
I don't know, track star maybe.
Cool. Yeah, like Adele, track star.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll work. Last question, and I'll get you out of here. Rebecca or Ben, whoever. I'm a senior in high school. Dodzy, senior in high school. Mm-hmm. They sit me in front of you, and your job is to recruit me to come run track at EOU. You have the floor. Go.
I would just say, I've said it before earlier, it's an amazing track program. The coaches really put in a lot of work to make you better, and they want you to do better. And I think the NAIA level is an amazing level because I'm able to go to nationals and fly around and go to all these cool track meets, and I'm able to compete at this level and possibly All-American or even place top 3, at nationals. And I feel like that's a really good accomplishment, and it's hard to do. And it's just something that EOU you can really do here. So it's awesome.
Nice. Eastern Oregon, she's CCC Track Athlete of the Week, EOU Track and Field's Olivia Lane, and I'm Dodzy, and we're out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love talking sports that I don't know a lot about. It's so exciting. It's fun. It's different. And I mean, I look up to Ben. I feel like I have a pretty good relationship with him. And I think that it's going to continue. And I want to profile athletes from all different sports. So I love it. My next guest, I reached out to Kathleen Brown, and we've been talking about doing this for a while. I've had a couple cheerleaders on the show in the past, and I want to make sure that I give some love to all the seniors. That's super important to me. And I've talked to this girl. I mean, she's a total sweetheart. She's EOU Cheer and Dance's Megan Demirjian. Here it is. She's a senior. She comes from Manhattan Beach, California, and I really just want to take the time this year, like with a COVID year, to give love to like the seniors. And that's who I've been reaching out to. So I reached out to Megan's coach and Megan. And so now we have her here. And how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
So am I. The first question that I always kick off everybody with is, it's always the same. It's, how'd you end up at EOU?
Okay. Great question. I actually have family here. And so when we would come to visit them, eventually my aunt was like, do you want to go tour the college we have here? I was like, sure. I toured it, really loved it, loved the rec halls, all of that. And so I applied here, and I ended up sending the cheer coach at the time when I was still a senior in high school a video. And she said, if you come to EOU, you'll be on the team. So here I am.
So that was how many years ago?
That was 4 years ago.
So yeah, you're a full-on senior.
Mm-hmm. Been here all 4 years.
Do you so are you going to come back next year, or are you done? Are you graduating?
I'm graduating. I'll be back next year to support, hopefully fans at football and everything. So I will definitely be back for that.
All right, you plan on staying here? Are you going to go like in a graduate program, or what's the plan?
Yes, I would like to get my master's. I'm not entirely sure in what yet, to be determined, but I am hoping to move to the area suburbs of Portland. So that's the plan, the goal.
Nice. Would you rather have unlimited international travel or never have to pay anything at a restaurant again in your life?
Oh, never pay anything at a restaurant. Two reasons. First, I love food. Food is so good. So and I spend all my money on it. So that'd be great. And second, I'm not scared of traveling out of the country, but if I wasn't with my dad, I'd be a little scared. I did go out of the country with my mom and sister, and that was really fun, but would have felt a lot better with my dad there. Or, yeah, someone there.
I would take the food probably too. Hey, I don't like flying. And you probably don't know this because you're not my size, but when you're my size, like not just width wise, I can fit in the seat just fine. It's the leg room that really kills me. Like there's nothing. The last few times I've flied, it's always been first class because I don't want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, good for you.
There's no room for people my size on those planes, man. So let's talk about cheer and dance. What drew you into cheer and dance like in high school? I mean, you must have got your start in dance earlier than high school, right?
Yes. So my sister, I grew up playing soccer, and my sister was a great dancer, and she started doing cheer. And I always loved watching her, and I thought it was super cool. I'd always wanted to be a cheerleader. And so my junior year of high school, I tried out. And actually, a cool story my high school coaches are actually also the coaches of UCLA cheerleading team. So I was very lucky to be able to be coached by them. So yeah, that was really awesome.
Yeah. And then so once you made the transition to college, like obviously EOU cheer is a club team. Yes. It's not like a sanctioned school sport. Like, was there ever any expectation or desire to like compete? Like, I mean, I would think.
Oh, yes. So actually, another fun fact, one of the girls on our team, Adela, won state, and she was an elite cheerleader. Caitlin and I have both been to nationals in Florida. So we do have competition experience on the team, but we're just kind of trying to build the foundation, kind of build the reputation, the skill, get the numbers, and then just kind of go from there. So it's been a challenge, but a fun challenge, kind of building the program up and just each year watching it get more and more advanced. And so the goal is to just keep getting more and more advanced, and then hopefully they can have a competing team.
Yeah. And then like five years from now or wherever down the line, you can sit back and say, oh, I helped build that foundation.
Yes. Very
because eventually we want EOU cheer to be like competing, correct?
Yes. The goal is to be successful enough to donate to the cheer team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So as for this year's been whack. I mean, COVID has just put a hamper on everybody across the board. Cheerleaders, I mean, and dancers, they perform for crowds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me what that's like standing there and the only person you see when you look up performing is me with my dumb phone on a gimbal.
I mean, that was fun. So actually, it was really interesting. So I thought that at first too, like it's going to be so hard to cheer to no one, but actually it was an interesting experience, kind of just being able to only focus on, we've only had football season so far, so being able to focus on just watching the game, giving the boys like all of our energy. Since there are no fans, we know like we just need to be so pumped up so they can feel it. And it was actually a really, I don't want to say intimate, but it was a really cool experience to just focus on the game. And we haven't really been able to do that in the past. So, you know, unfortunately, we didn't have a crowd to cheer for, but fortunately, it was just a great experience to be kind of in that arena so close with everyone.
Yeah, I mean, at least you guys are there, right?
Yes, I know.
The flip side of that would be no cheerleaders there. And it just, I mean, EOU football, it's weird enough that there's no fans. But then if you took away cheerleading too, it would be like it would be a foreign sport almost. It would be weird, you know, like
someone was there to support them.
Yeah, absolutely. So who do you have like a favorite athlete? You mentioned that you played soccer. Like, do you have somebody that you look up to or like an idol?
When I played soccer, it was Amy Rodriguez. She played on the U.S. Olympic soccer team, won the gold medal. Her uncle was my dad's roommate in college, so we were close growing up. We went to USC to watch all of her games. Manhattan Beach is in LA, so I was able to go and watch USC games. So she was always my favorite growing up. I looked up to her, and she's a great person. So
nice. It's always good to have like positive role models, and there's, I mean, I think EOU preaches that because you see that way athletes and you know, club sport people, they carry themselves different, and it's an expectation at EOU.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the athletes are definitely held to a very high standard, and they uphold it, which is awesome.
It's a good thing. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
No, I do not.
Me neither. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm glad you're not hating.
Warm pineapple is so gross. Like in Chinese food, the big chunks, no. What's your favorite food?
Pizza, actually. I definitely like savory and salty over sweet. So anything cheese related, bread related, I'm on it.
I'm all about just dump a whole bunch of meat on there. Like, But right now I'm on a MetTrim diet, so I don't get any. It's miserable, but at the same time, I feel good. So that's the best part.
What's your go-to meal on that diet?
Well, right now I'm in the first 2 weeks still. So all I get is protein, shakes, drinks, and bars. So I don't get any real food right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
but in 1 week, I'll be able to eat as many green vegetables as I want. And I love green vegetables. So it's going to right now, my salt is 4 dill pickle spears a day. And you don't know how much I look forward to those 4 dill pickle spears.
I bet.
Really. Yeah. But it's a perfect opportunity for me. MetTrim's paying for it and they're sponsoring my show. And it's a great opportunity for me to be here longer for my kids, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So EOU cheer and dance, Kathleen, tell me about your relationship with her and just talk a little bit about her.
Yes. So Kathleen became our coach last year when I was a junior. Before that, I had a different coach my freshman year as to sophomore year. Coaching wasn't very consistent with the team. And so when Kathleen came, she told us, I'm here. I don't plan on leaving. And so hearing that felt amazing. And Kathleen has just dedicated so much to this team on top of being the student success coordinator. So we're really lucky to have gotten Kathleen. And then we have Heather as well this year. I'm not sure if you are familiar with Heather Watson, but she was a great addition to the team.
Yeah, she's a dance instructor, longtime dance instructor. Do you know the outfits you guys wore the first football game, the white tops? The ones you wore the last football game were way, way better.
You think?
I like all black. Yeah, the all black.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and the funny thing is it doesn't matter like you're tall, short, a little bit, you know, thicker, skinnier. Black's the way to go in my eyes. I mean, because all of you guys look smoking hot.
Thank you.
Really, the black was I really like those outfits.
This is actually kind of a funny story. Caitlin, another one of the seniors this year, when I was a freshman, she was a sophomore. We were debating on white or black uniforms. And I kept saying, Caitlin, like, no other teams have a black uniform, like, well, besides the soccer team. Like, we should get white. We debated. We ended up not even getting either one of those colors. We got blue. But looking back, I was like, Caitlin, black would have been really cool.
The dance outfits are black, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the halftime show. Yeah. Those outfits are very nice.
Thank you.
All right, so here's a good question for you. If they were going to make a Hollywood movie about you, who plays you, and what's the name of the movie?
Oh gosh, I would say Jennifer Lawrence would probably play me, and the movie would be called "Don't Embarrass Yourself Today." I feel like I embarrass myself a lot, and I'm very clumsy. So, yep.
What's your favorite story? Like, it doesn't have to be cheer related, but about your time at EOU, whether it's like something you did dumb or, you know, anything.
Okay, actually, it is a cheer related story. So the last game, we were doing Mountie Walk, which is when we walk with the boys to the field. And there was a gate like blocking off where tailgate usually is. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that gate is blocking like where we're going to walk. So I start sprinting to it to go move it. I'm like running and I go to grab it and I ran right by it, missed the gate, had to go back. I'm like pulling it with all my strength to move it. It was really embarrassing, but had to be moved. So
that's your favorite story from 4 years at EOU?
Not my favorite, my most embarrassing. Let's see.
Okay, what's your favorite memory?
Favorite.
Yeah. Best thing that happened to you at EOU?
Honestly, I would say meeting my best friends, meeting my friend group. They really made my time here super awesome. Josie one of my best friends, she ended up joining the cheer team as well. She graduated last year. And meeting them just really made my experience that much better. I felt like I met my people and we just made so many fun memories together.
Nice. Do you have your phone or are you on your phone?
Oh, I have it right here.
Okay. First, open it up and tell me what the last song you listened to is on your playlist.
Cheers. Drink to That by Rihanna.
What is it called?
Cheers. Drink to That by Rihanna.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yeah.
What's the next song you guys are dancing to for dance?
So this weekend at the basketball games, our halftime is Own It. That's the next dance. And then we're actually learning a Bollywood style dance right now. The song is called Garmi. Don't quote me on that, but I'm super excited to perform that. It's very unique and it's fun to learn. So it'll be fun to perform.
Well, the musical diversity that Kathleen and Heather have brought, I love it. Like the first football game, you guys danced to a K-pop song at halftime.
Actually, yes. When Kathleen first joined the team, she did make a huge point about wanting to bring diversity to the team. And so a tradition with cheerleaders is that, you all decide on the same hair. So like, are we doing straight hair today? Hair up. Sounds kind of weird, but it's always just kind of been a thing. And so when she joined the team and we were like, okay, guys, do you want to do curly hair this weekend? Hair up. She was like, what? And she made a rule that everyone could do their own hair. And at first we were like, oh my gosh, like this is so weird. It goes against everything. But it was such a great thing Kathleen did. And it honestly brought a lot more like freedom to the team and expression. And it was great that she broke those boundaries in a good way.
Good. Yeah. That gives you a little bit of individuality.
Yes.
Makes you stand, it's funny. Like, I think when I really think about it, I think that there's other sports, women's sports, especially, that do that. Mm-hmm. Like everybody either wears their hair up or down. And I was talking with Sade. She's on the volleyball team. Oh, yeah. And I've talked to a lot of those volleyball players, and I'd never asked them, like, do you do your makeup and your hair before the game? And they do. I didn't know that. Like, I mean, guys don't have those same issues, or because if I in college when I played baseball, I'd wake up, I wouldn't even comb my hair to go to a game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So after cheer, after it's all said and done, you want to coach somewhere, or?
Probably not coach, but I'm majoring in business. So I'm hoping to do something along the lines of business. Not too sure exactly what yet, but I love business. So just going to stick to that.
Yeah, just stick to your guns, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to ask you one more question, and then I'm going to get you out of here. And I ask everybody this same question. Okay. I'm a senior in high school. I'm a cheerleader. Kathleen brings me and sits me in front of you and says, Megan, recruit Dodsey to come cheer at EOU. You got the floor.
Alrighty. So Dodsey, cheering at EOU is not only a great feeling to be able to cheer, but it's making a difference. You're fighting for what you believe in, what you love to do. And we have a great community that supports you and welcomes you, a great team. It's an amazing feeling to be able to be a part of the university and a part of athletics and cheer on the other teams and support all of our athletes as well as our community and students. And trust me, you will not regret it.
Nice. Eastern Oregon. She's the lovely Megan Demirjian from EOU Cheer and Dance, and I'm Dodsey, and we're out. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Quick little update on my diet. I had my doctor's appointment today, and I got on the scale for the first time in 6 days, and I'm 8.5 pounds down in 6 days, and I feel great. If you guys are worried about the cost, think of it like this. If you are spending money on food, whatever you spend each week or each month on food, look at that number compared to what you would spend on this diet. The difference is the life change. And it's not going to be that drastic. It's going to be very little if you really look at it. I looked at it. I looked at the numbers for what the food costs going through MetTrim and what I was spending weekly on just me between going out and eating at home, and it's very comparable. Maybe you're worried about your blood sugar levels. Maybe you're worried about your hypertension, high blood pressure like me. That's all a reason to walk through that door. MetTrim MD right here in LeGrand. Don't forget that this show is not possible without Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto. JB and the boys, East End of LeGrand, the old Windows corner. You need tires, they got them. You need your radiator worked on, they can do it. You need an oil change, take it to JB and the boys. The most professional and prompt, and JB will work with you. It's small town, and that's what I love. Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto right here in LeGrand. Anyways, I'm super excited about this weekend. We're going to celebrate one of my favorite people, Max McCullough. We're going to celebrate him at one of the games, breaking the EOU all-time scoring record. And, Max, I'm super proud of you. You already know that. Eastern Oregon, I appreciate you. I'm Dodsey, and I'm out.